He joins us now live from Milwaukee. So, watching the game tonight, the Raptors were in position all game to win this basketball game and take the early lead and steal game one, a home court advantage, and the Bucks found a way in the fourth. What was the key to the game for you, Stephen A.?
Well, to me, the key to the game was Brook Lopez. He played an outstanding game. He finished with 29 points, hit about 4 3-pointers, including a key three late in the game. And he was that X factor. And he was battling another X factor in Kyle Lowry. I think the thing that you've got to look at peeling from tonight's game is what shot can Toronto possibly have after losing this particular game? Kawhi gives you another 30-plus. He finished with 31. But Kyle Lowry, notorious for struggling come playoff time because of his miniature stature, drops 30, including about 7 or 8 3-pointers, and you still lose. Siakam didn't score but 6 points after the first quarter. You're looking at Milwaukee, and they turn it around. They got trees everywhere. The Greek Freak finishes with 24 and 14. Brook Lopez is hitting threes. Malcolm Brogdon comes off the bench and gives you 15 points off the bench. That's more than anybody combined gave you off of Toronto. So you look at it from that perspective. Toronto, you can look at it and say, hey, they still have a chance. But here's the bottom line. Milwaukee shot 25% from three-point range. They struggled miserably in the first half, and they still won. And they won primarily because of Brook Lopez, not the Greek Freak. That should spell trouble for you if you're the Toronto Raptors, and it certainly does spell trouble.
That third quarter specifically has to be the real painful aspect for Toronto. They had a chance to really blow the game open at that point if those two star players got any help from their bench.
Well, listen, let's not forget this. Kawhi Leonard dropped about 14 points in the third quarter. The fourth quarter, he was held to 2 points. He didn't do anything in the fourth quarter. Now, that might have been primarily because Kyle Lowry was doing his thing, but still in all, you expect more from Kawhi Leonard in the last 12 minutes of a playoff basketball game, particularly when you saw what he did for you in the first 2 rounds of these playoffs against Orlando and then against Philadelphia. But this is a different monster he's going up against. The Greek Freak and Lopez down low on that front line gives you some problems, along with Mirotic, and what he can give you in terms of size. And then you got that pit bull, that's Bledsoe. He's defending you well, and they're getting contribution from all over the place on the defensive side of the ball. So give credit where credit is due. Milwaukee was presumed to be the better team coming into this series, and as far as I'm concerned, after just one game, they proved it, because on an off night, they still took Toronto out.
Stephen A., do we afford Toronto the excuse of they were just coming off that crazy 7-game series, the win at home, and Milwaukee's been sitting around and waiting? Could there have been any effects tonight seen on the court by Toronto based off that last series?
Well, first of all, to answer your first question, can we afford the Toronto Raptors an excuse? No, period. It's game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. They're the ones that had rest. You had rhythm. Pick yourself. Rest, rhythm. Which one you want? I'd go with rhythm. So the bottom line is there's no excuse. They lost the game.
Stephen A., thank you. Stephen A. Smith in a better mood tonight than he was earlier this morning on his radio show this afternoon. We appreciate that. So.